pretty quick, will make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom, there's some oil we can use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose, but our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? You're depressed, society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who also don't have a clue, and pump out a few babies that are just the same as you. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl. I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided all the men by trying politics and race, and honestly, it's working awesome, so for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate, objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape, and weaponize the differences that make our men and women great. And just to screw with you, erase the genders. Everyone's the same. We'll empower you with rights to vote and fight for equal pay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mike Files. 52 miles east of Jellystone Park in Coyote, Wyoming, coming at you on this fine Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. You've probably seen the Twitter feed. Maybe you have. If you haven't, check it out, you know. But you know, the one thing I was thinking about, you know, we've had this big problem in this country. It seems that nobody can figure out how to define a woman. And now that we've had this big thing with the Roe versus Wade and all that, now all of a sudden, we've defined what a woman is. I got my refrigerator on. There it goes. Look at that. Remote control right from where I'm sitting. How about that? I'm high tech. Check it out. Check out my sack. Anyway, here we are. So what I wanted to talk about a little bit was the definition of a woman, and I offered my services out there. If you're having a problem with this, with, you know, defining what a woman is or figuring out what a female is, I can help you. I've been very successful at it pretty much my entire life. I've got 100% success rate. You know, I've never ended up, you know, in a place where, you know, I guess what I have for a USB-C hub is called a dongle. So I've never ended up in a place where there's a dongle. So if you all are having a problem with that, you need some help, I can help you out with how to identify a female. It's very easy. And I can tell you how to identify a male as well. So I know that it's very difficult in this life that we're living right now. You know, things are all amiss, askew, you know, everything's torn asunder. Nobody knows what's what. We're all confused. What's a man? What's a woman? What bathroom do I use? What hole do I pee out of? If you have that problem, you probably ought to go see a doctor. Because that's probably a serious issue. But if you need my services for a small fee, you can get on the MikeFiles.com. You can get on YouTube. You can hit me up at the MikeFiles@gmail.com as well. And I'd be happy to assist you for a small fee. You know, we might even start a membership service for this. That way we can understand. Because obviously our new Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, she couldn't define a female. Now, I don't know how you interpret constitutional law when you can't define the difference between the sexes. Now, I know everybody's going to say, okay, look, I'm not talking about gender, because we all know gender is a different thing, and that's a touchy subject. It's very touchy, gender is, because gender is different than sex, right? Like your biological, you know, assignment when you're born, like when when your mom goes boom, 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 and you pop out, and they spank your ass and you cry, and then they cut the thing, and then they look and they, you know, do you got a dongle or do you not? And that's how, you know, and I know there's 0.018% that are, unisex. I don't have the politically correct terminology, but there is 0.018% of people that are born anti-sex, unisex, whatever you want to call it. And perhaps that 0.018% gets misgendered at birth. That's 0.018, folks. And do we need a math lesson? I don't know how many of you are into new math. I'm not into new math. I've been doing regular math for a lot of years, applied mathematics. I can tell you about the Pythagorean theorem. I can tell you how to calculate the square footage of a floor, the exterior of a house, linear footage of boards. And I can also tell you that 2 plus 2 doesn't equal Jell-O. It equals 3. Oh, wait, no, 4. 4? Is it 4? 2 plus 2? 4. Okay. But if you need help with this, I'm more than happy to help you out. I mean, my bank account could use some cushion. As could everybody's out there, because shit, we're at 8.5% inflation. I mean, the CPI has gone up from 4.2% last April, and the April's numbers just came out, and we're at 8.3. So while you might look at that and say, well, 8.3%, that's not that much. I live in California, and it's 8.9% sales tax. Well, you have to figure these numbers as the fact that they doubled. Okay, so 4.2 to 8.9 is not just that. It's not 8 cents on a dollar. It's a larger number than that. It's doubled. Anybody who's fueled up lately, Anybody gone to the gas station? Yeah, that's a fun fucking time, isn't it? I mean, anybody gone to the grocery store? Equally fun, right? Anybody had a spike in their wages? Who's out there working for 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks an hour? Ain't getting you shit, is it? All it's getting you is a bunch of grandstanding by these fucking politicians that are worthless ass motherfuckers. And they don't do anything for you. They don't care about you. Thank God that Rand Paul is in the Senate, the junior senator from Kentucky. At least he stood up and at least put a halt to this $40 billion. Is he gonna stop it? Probably not. We got fucking Mr. Peanut Head, fucking Mitch McConnell, and his band of fucking merry idiots. I don't know who's with him. I would imagine the usual suspects. He's probably got Lindsey Graham with him. Who knows? They probably picked fucking John Bolton up on the way. Get the warmongers over there with Zelensky and let's figure it out. $40 billion, folks. How many homeless people do we have on the streets in this country? It could be solved. 20 billion solves homelessness. Gets people fed, gets them off the streets. Gives people a pathway to doing something better in life. Whatever that may be. But I mean, if we have people on the street and we're sitting here eating our bullshit Monsanto, genetically modified fucking garbage food that gives us all cancer, and we just look down upon these people that are on the street. I mean, you or I, most of us are one medical emergency away from being on that street corner, from living in a tent. You know what I'm saying? You're not immune to this thing. None of us are. I don't know what you have for healthcare coverage, whoever I happen to be talking to. I have Xerox, none. Okay? Even when I did I think I had healthcare coverage for maybe a year or two, my deductible was so fucking huge that it was just ridiculous. It didn't do me any fucking good anyways. And then I'm losing money out of my paycheck on top of what they're taking out for taxes and and all this other shit. And that's violence. When you go and you agree to do a job for somebody and they say, well, I'll pay you $15 an hour. Like, I learned this as a kid. The first job I got, I was a fucking grocery store bag boy at 14 years old. And I think back then the minimum wage was $4.35. So I worked my first pay period and I did the math, $4.35. And I thought, okay, cool. I'm getting this much money. I get my paycheck and I'm like, looking at I'm like, what the fuck is it? What's all this shit? I'm sitting there planning to buy a stereo for my truck. I'm just a kid, and I realized right then, I was like, man, there's some gangsters out there running this shit. I didn't voluntarily offer that money up. If taxes and Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and all this shit was such a great thing, wouldn't you voluntarily pay that shit? Wouldn't they teach you in school that you needed to pay that shit? Wouldn't they tell you, hey, this is something that you need to, this is a beneficiary thing for you? No, they just take it. They take it. You don't have a say in that shit. You fill out that W-2 and they just take it from you. You don't get to say one way or another. So in my mind, that's violence. Because when somebody takes something from you without your permission, it's violent. And then when you sit there and you commiserate and you proceed to just allow that to happen to you over and over and over and over and over your entire life, you're a chump. You're a straight chump. I'm sick of being a chump. I'm not doing it anymore. I haven't done it for a long time. And I don't give a shit. I'm not giving those fuckers money to go over there and bomb brown people anymore. I'm not giving them money to go over there and send bombs and missiles and shit to Ukraine, because all that's doing is perpetuating death and destruction. And that's what this fucking stupid ass country wants. What do you think Joe Biden wants? What do you think Mitch McConnell wants? What do you think Lindsey Graham wants? What do you think these fucking assholes, Chucky Schumer and Pelosi? And you got the fucking ex-head of fucking Raytheon as the Secretary of Defense right now. It's a revolving door, people. You still get the same shit. It don't matter if you vote Democrat, Republican. You're still going to get your Steve Mnuchins, your fucking Timothy Geithners, your same fucking assholes in Wall Street that fucking sit there and just make money on this stupid fucking bullshit system. You know, I mean, if you don't understand what I'm saying, look up fractional reserve banking. Look up the finance system. Look up the origin of the Federal Reserve. Okay, we just had interest rates go up by 0.5%. Now everybody thinks, oh, 0.5%, that's not much. That's a huge fucking hike. It's a huge hike, and it's going to go up again. It's going to go up again. You know, I'm no economist, but, you know, I mean, I can look at a picture and tell you what fucking color it is, you know, and this is just nonsense. You know, we can't define what a man or a woman is until they decide that they're going to write a opinion. It's just a draft opinion on Roe v. Wade. Okay, it hasn't come into law. And yes, they did overturn the women's health bill. Now, I have to admit, I haven't read the whole thing. It's 2,000 fucking pages. And they put it on the fucking floor with under a day for these people to read. It's just like the fucking Obamacare Act when Nancy Pelosi says, well, we have to fucking pass it so we can see what's in it. These are the people that are running this shit. These are the people running the show. People that think that you have to pass a fucking bill first and then you can see what's in it. McFly, anybody fucking home? Anybody? You need to read this shit before you fucking pass it. I mean, am I fucking Chinese here or what? You know, come on. Figure it out. I mean, are you just going to sign off on some shit without knowing what's up? I mean, it'd be the same as when I was in fucking prison and one of my boys would come back and be like, hey, man, this dude from the Pisa room did this to me. And I'd be like, you got proof of it? Can you show me that this fucking happened? Well, it's like, dude, you have to fucking, you got to have everything in front of you before you can make a decision. And we're so quick to jump off, and everybody's got their little Ukraine flag on their fucking Facebook site and on their Instagram. We support Ukraine. Do you understand that Ukraine is not a democracy? We are not a democracy, you dumb fucks. This country is not a fucking democracy. It never has been. It's been a fucking representative republic. When Ben Franklin came out after signing the fucking Constitution, they asked him what they had done, and he said, we've given you a republic if you can keep it. And I quote. Now, I'm sure they don't teach that in schools anymore. They just say, democracy, democracy. You know, anybody that thinks democracy is a great idea is a fucking moron. Because democracy just means mass rules. It's the majority rules. I've said this over and over again. It means if I don't like your bicycle that you have and I think that I should have that bicycle, then I can go out and through propaganda with my neighbors, I can say, well, he's an asshole. Look at his yard. You know, he's dirty. He's got a fucking unwashed truck. He doesn't need that bicycle. We should go take it. And you have a neighborhood vote, and then they go and take your fucking bike. That's democracy. That's what you have. The masses are asses. And when you get a bunch of fucking idiot people together under some stupid premise that nobody understands, which is what we have here, because we have a majority of the populace doesn't even know what the hell they're voting for when it comes to election day. You go in there, and whatever you're affiliated with, you check off R or D. You don't know the policies of the people. You have no idea who they are, but you just vote for them because that's my duty to my party. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. Think about it. I mean, anybody out there that would happen to see this, if you're homeless, I don't know if any of the homeless people can see this, you know, but I mean, think about it. Did they have your back? You know, how about people of color out there? You know, I mean, Charlemagne the God came out and he had Pete Buttigieg, the fucking Secretary of Transportation, on his show, and he said, look, he goes, black folks don't think that you're fucking living up to your promises. What was his answer? Pete Buttigieg looks at, really? Really? The guy's clueless. We have a fucking supply chain problem. It took me 3 months to get the last thing I ordered from fucking China. The shit's showing up at Long Beach. It's not even going into Long Beach anymore because they know when it gets off that fucking boat and they unload those cargo containers, they're going to put them on a train, and the homeless people are going to be down there with bolt cutters jumping on the train, cutting the fucking locks and throwing the shit out the back to their homies. I mean, I've had shit from eBay, doesn't show up, can't dispute. I mean, you know, these are the people that you're voting for. These are the people that are putting this shit, they're implementing this shit. You got a fucking goddamn Department of Transportation secretary that says that roads are racist. Him and the vice president's husband. I don't know which one's husband or wife. It's hard to tell. Now, that might be a situation where I can't tell a man or a woman because that dude, well, I don't look him. You got to check him out. He's something else. Racist roads? Racist roads. I mean, I thought nothing else could be more racist than a white dude like me, right? Like I'm the epitome of evil in this country right now, right? Like a middle-aged white man, evil. But you don't know me. You don't know my history. You don't know who my friends are. You don't know who I keep close to me. But I'm just because of this. Like I said, I can change the pigment of my fucking skin right now. I mean, you know, with a little bit of pain and the right fucking tattoo needles, I could be a black man by the end of the day. Does that change who I am? Does that change who anybody is? No, it doesn't. We sit here and we argue over the pigment of people's skin. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking retarded. And then we can't figure out what a man or a woman is. Now, if you're having a hard time with that, like I said, I'm going to start up a website. I'm going to have some services available for you. It's going to be for a fee. It's going to cost you because you're stupid. You know, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. I mean, you know, that's what it comes down to. But this is just absolutely idiotic. You know, this country has absolutely gone stupid, sideways. And I mean, talk about being on Jackass status. This country is on Jackass status in the world right now. We've got a jackass leading it. We've got a jackass for a vice president. We've got a jackass for Speaker of the House. And we've got 435 jackass representatives along with 100 jackass senators. And as I've said, no one would ever vote for somebody like me, but I guarantee I would represent everybody. I'd represent the people of this state. I'd be looking out for the good of everybody, you know, and I've got my ideas on what would need to happen to change this thing, but we are at a point of no return, and there's no fix in the future. You can't fix this nonsense with printing more fake money. The more fake money we print, the worse it fucking gets. You can't get baby formula, for fuck's sake. You know? And like I said on Twitter the other day, and I did a disclaimer. I said I wasn't trying to be insensitive or a jerk. But I also just mentioned the fact that the year is 2022 AD, all right? And how far do we go back? BC. Babies, obviously, back then didn't have baby formula. I'm not going to pull the Bette Midler thing and just go, I can just breastfeed. I'm not saying, but I'm saying that somehow babies manage to live because here we all are, right? Unless we're in a simulation, which we might be. Who knows? I don't think anybody could say one way or another. However, obviously, children did manage to survive before there was baby formula. I want to say it was in the late 1850s that I think the first formula came out for $1 a can in like 1859. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. Typically, I'm fairly close on my historical references because I read. You know, try doing that once in a while. Read some shit. Look some shit up. Question things. Think critically. Don't just look at all this shit they're telling you on fucking TikTok. You know, just because some fucking 16-year-old teenager is fucking doing some goofy dance around and you know, shooting themselves in the face with Orbeez or eating Tide Pods doesn't make it fucking true. You know, you all fucking sit out there and you watch this bullshit and you don't think. Think. just try it. Just try it one day. Just try it. Turn off your social media. Okay? Don't get on there. Just turn it off. Ignore it. See how long you can last. I watched kids when I was hiring people. I'd have kids, younger kids. Jesus Christ. They couldn't stay off their goddamn phone. Just put the goddamn thing, turn it off. Just turn the ringer off. Turn the notifications off and just put it away. Use it to only make a call when you need to talk to somebody. Try that. See how your day goes. I know you're gonna totally fucking freak out for a while, you know. I gotta see, what did they say about my Instagram post? Oh my God, who's on Snap crap? Just put the fucking thing away. Put it down. I don't look at that shit. I put this out there, but I don't look at it. I don't look at the comments. I don't care. I say what I'm going to say, and whatever you have to say about it, it doesn't matter to me because that's your reaction, and it's none of my responsibility. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with you. The way you respond to what I have to say is on you. And I'm not going to argue with you about it because you have the right to say whatever you want. And I also have the right not to fucking even read it or listen to it. Sorry, not sorry. So on that note, if we need help defining a man or a woman, I can certainly help you out. I mean, you come out here and, I can take you around town and give you examples of what's a female, what's not a female. And I've got little tips and clues. It's not Blue's Clues, but I can give you some pointers on this. And trust me, I have 100% satisfaction. I have 100% background in this. I've never messed this one up. I've seen it be messed up before, and that's embarrassing for somebody. I mean, but I can guarantee you won't mess it up. But it's funny how, one day we have, the hearings for a Supreme Court justice who is asked to give a definition of a woman and says she's not a biologist, so she can't do so. But then somebody leaks a draft opinion from the Supreme Court concerning Roe v. Wade. And all of a sudden, we know what a woman is now. All of a sudden, we have women marching in. Why weren't women marching in the streets when Ketanji Brown Jackson said she couldn't define a woman? Huh? Why weren't feminists upset about that? I mean, why are you behind the nomination of a black female Supreme Court justice who can't define a woman, feminists? Wouldn't you be upset about that? I mean, if they were nominating, say when they nominated fucking Gorsuch or what's-his-face, Kavanaugh, and they asked, can you give a definition of a man? And he said no, I would have been like, wait, what? I can give you the definition. I can show you the definition. I mean, it's not hard sometimes. Pun intended, not intended, I guess. Really, though, people, think about it. I mean, everybody's all behind it because guess what? You can't say a thing when you're talking about a black female being nominated to the Supreme Court. And fucking Onion Head, I mean, he came out and he said, as soon as I get the chance to nominate somebody to the Supreme Court, it's going to be a black female. To me, I'm sorry, I might be wrong, but that's fucking racist. It's racist because he's not taking into consideration any other candidate. Now, if you're an owner of a company, right, like I've been, I look at candidates for a job. I'm not taking into consideration their race. I'm not considering their gender. I'm looking at a resume and I'm having an interview with somebody and I'm going to pick the person that I feel is best suited for the job because that's my prerogative. It's my fucking business. And I'm going to decide who I think is best. Now, I'm not going to play it off on race or gender or anything like that. I'm looking at who's got the experience, who can sit down and have a conversation. I have questions I'm going to ask to see how somebody's going to handle situations, and I'm going to pick the person that I feel best for the job because it's my business, and obviously I'm in business to make money and to succeed. So I don't give a shit who you are, where you're from, what you look. I mean, you could be a fucking Martian for all I care. If you're better suited for the job, guess what? You're hired, motherfucker. Bring your spaceship and let's get to work. I mean, but this guy comes out and says, "Oh, it's going to be a black female." Hey, black sisters out there, I love you. Seriously, I do. Like, it's just nothing to do with race. It's nothing to do with it. What it had to do with race is the way that this guy fucking portrayed it. And that's the problem. That's the problem right now is we don't look at, everybody wants equality of outcome. There's not equality of outcome. I want equality of opportunity. I would like to live in a world where everybody had an equal opportunity from their time of birth throughout their life. How do we get there? I don't have the answers to that. I don't know. I mean, I do have the answers, but you don't want to hear them. Nobody wants to hear them because it involves, a lot of things that people really just can't even fathom. But you can't have equality of outcome. You just can't. It's not going to happen because people put different shit into what they're doing in their life. It's just like, have you ever been into a restaurant, say, let's just use this as an analogy. Okay, there's a restaurant here in this town that I used to frequent probably once or twice a week. I loved going in there. It was a high-end restaurant. I got great service in the place. The servers, they knew me. They'd see me come in the door with my friends and shit. I mean, we got a seat right away, right where we wanted. We got top shelf service, the drinks were out, the salads were out, appetizers, main course, coming back, checking on us, just totally great. I get out of prison and I go in that same restaurant and they've all of a sudden started tip sharing, right? So now everybody, no matter what they do, they got to split the tips. So you got Veronica over here, who's an excellent server, busting her ass, right? And then you got fucking Shane over here sitting at the pop machine, sitting in the kitchen, out back smoking cigarettes, not doing a goddamn thing because he knows he's going to get part of Veronica's fucking tips. Guess what happens to your service? Guess what happens to Veronica's work? She doesn't give a fuck because she's losing out that money, I mean, it's all about what you put into things, I mean, if you're just a shithead and that's what happens. And so Veronica quits doing her job like she used to because what's she give a shit anymore? She's in there busting her ass to get those tips. She's walking out with $300-$400 on a Friday night. Now she's going out with $100 because she's got to share all her shit with everybody else that does nothing. Well, what's her motivation? What's her motivation? That's the same thing that's going on here. You're saying that because of somebody's skin color and their, I don't even know how to politically correctly say it, their gender identity, I guess, because we obviously have a problem defining men and women, but because of that, and I'm not saying that Ketanji Brown Jackson was not qualified to be on there. I don't know enough about her past. I've read a lot of it and have my opinions on it, and it doesn't matter because obviously she went through the whole thing. But when you sit there and you're going to the highest court in the land and you can't define what a woman is, I wish that senator would have asked her, or whoever the fuck it was that asked her that question. I wish they would ask, well, can you define a man? I'll bet she would have been able to define a man, because we're the most hated species on the planet right now. Men are. We're the most hated. And we can get beat up by females. Look at the whole fucking thing with Johnny Depp. I've been through it. Had females throw shit at me, hit me, bite me, headbutt me. Have I ever laid a hand on them? No, I have not. But guarantee if the police show up, guess who's going to jail? I am. You want to talk about gender equity? Is that gender equity? Look at Johnny Depp. One of the greatest actors of our time. One of my favorite actors. I mean, the job he did, the fact that he became such good friends with Hunter Thompson right there speaks to his character. And nobody in that trial that I've seen, and I've not watched other than snippets of it, but everybody has had nothing but good things to say about what a kind, decent human being he is. That woman beat on him. She shit in his fucking bed, for fuck's sake. He told her, if you have to hit me, hit me. She hit him. He said, is that all? Do you want another? And she hit him again. He set her down on the bed. Didn't hit her. Set her down on the bed. Said, that's it. I'm leaving. Don't follow me. I'm gone. Men, how many of you have been in that situation? I've been there. I know a lot of men that have been there. And guess what? When it comes down to it in the legal system, you're considered fucking guilty. All right? I'm sorry. I'm a man. You know what I mean? I mean, if there's not a female out there that would come after me, and I don't give a shit if it's Ronda Rousey or whatever. A man is a man. And I mean, she can beat the shit out of any female she wants, but I guarantee she ain't beating the shit out of me if I want to, but I'm not going to fight a woman. I've never put my hands on a woman. I never will. But yet women are allowed to do that, and we're made to be looked at like we're the worst fucking people on the planet. You got these feminists out there saying kill all male babies. Hey, you dumb bitch. What the fuck you think happens if you kill all male babies? There ain't going to be any females around, you stupid idiot. And now they say that men can give birth. Well, it's not a biological man. I'm sorry. Biology says this and that, okay? Like I said, 0.018%. Look it up. I can look it up for you if you can't look it up. 0.018% of people are born, whatever they want to call it, unisex, to where they can't define it. You know? And even then, they make a decision. I mean, sometimes I guess I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I've never seen the bloop and then have to look at it. But I guess there's sometimes where there's a question. 0.018% for all you mathematicians out there. That is a very, very small percentage, and most of the time they figure it out. So, I mean, they did it was either a Gallup or a Pew poll they did, and the people that they polled in these questions, okay, they asked what percentage of the United States are black, and these people said 47%. Wrong. It's 17%. They asked what percentage of the country are homosexuals. They said 30-some percent. 3%. They said what percentage of the population of the United States are transgender. They said 21%. 1%. So these are the perceptions that you've been led to believe through watching your CNN, your Fox News, your fucking MSDNC, NBC News, ABC News, all this bullshit. The information that you're going to get that's legit is going to come from people like me, people like Jimmy Dore, people like Glenn Greenwald, for fuck's sake. Another young man that I have recently started watching his show is Jackson Hinkle, and he does a great job. He's 22 years old, and he acts like he's 40 years old. He's very professional. He's much more professional than I am. I mean, he really puts together a good show. He had Glenn Greenwald on his show the other day. He's had a lot of big guests. I mean, the young man's doing a great job, and I ain't going to hate on him. I mean, he's got a much bigger viewership than me. Much respect to the young man. He's doing a great job. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try and, put people down that are doing legit shit and doing well at it. I mean, I got nothing but love for the guy. Anybody that's doing the right thing out there. Now, how about Brian Stelter? Oh, Jesus. I shouldn't have even said his name on my show yet. He's, on CNN, the worst fucking channel on the planet. I mean, you can't get much more terrible than them. They're just awful. I mean, so do your homework. And if you need help figuring out what a man or a woman is, like I said, you can reach out to me. Leave your comments below. If you like what you heard, give it a like, subscribe. You have no obligation. I'm not going to send you emails. I'm not going to bother you. You don't have to spend any money. But you help me out, You help me out with the algorithm. And we won't even get into that. That's something for another time. We're about 35 minutes into this thing, so I'm going to just take us out with a bong hit and a little Tom McDonald. And like I said, give it a like, subscribe. Give me a shout in the comments if you like. I'll maybe get back to you, maybe not. I don't know. Depends on what you have to say. I mean, whatever, it is what it is. So anyways, as we always go out from the Mike Files, 52 miles east of Yellowstone Park in Coyote, Wyoming, be good or be good at it. In all things, be kind and do no harm. Later days, Willie Mays.
Welcome to the world, baby boy, I'll paint you red and white and blue. The indoctrination starts as soon as you come out the womb. Pretty quick, we'll make you stupid with curriculums at school. And if the classroom doesn't do the trick, we'll make you watch the news. Pick your team, right or left, take the red pill or the blue. You can vote, but even if you win, still everyone will lose. Don't forget to buy designer because Gucci makes you cool. We prioritize material belongings over truth. Get a job that you can't stand so you can buy some cans of food. Go overseas and die for freedom, there's some oil we can use. Our democracy exists so that you think that you can choose, but our algorithms make you do what we want you to do. What's the problem? You're depressed, society has you confused. We got medication for you that you'll probably abuse. Go get married to a lady who also don't have a clue, and pump out a few babies that are just the same as you. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl, I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided out of men by trying politics and race, and honestly it's working awesome, so for you we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate. Objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape. And weaponize the differences that make our men and women great. Then just to screw with you, erase the genders, everyone's the same. We'll empower you with rights to vote and fight for equal pay. Then have the men turn into women and you'll fight for them again. But you thought you had it figured out, but everything has changed. Welcome to the system, please enjoy your stay. Here's a Bible and a bottle of the cheapest booze we make. Find a man who can take care of you to fill the holes we make. Buy a house and settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also do the same. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong. Welcome to the world, everybody. I'ma paint you black and white. I'ma make you hate each other so that everyone will fight. I'ma give you our religion, let the righteous find the light. But I will also give you science to oppose the word of Christ. And I'ma give you borders, they're imaginary lines. If you cross them, go to war and win when everybody dies. And I'ma give you money that you'll value more than life, and let the 1% have everything while you fight to survive. And then I'll give you politics, I'll call it left and right. And while you divide yourselves, I will conquer both the sides. Can't you see? I'm the system, my whole purpose is divide. What you choose will never matter because everything is mine. Welcome to the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone